Ever had that moment when you're standing in your kitchen, cracking an egg into your skillet, and a tiny voice in your head whispers, "Is this helping or hurting my health?" Especially if you're one of the 537 million people worldwide living with diabetes, that question isn't just casual curiosity, it's an urgent health concern. You're about to discover why the way you're cooking your eggs might be silently sabotaging your health, triggering dangerous inflammation, and potentially worsening your diabetic condition without you even realizing it. And fair warning, what I'm about to reveal might make you question everything you've been told about healthy eating for the past 40 years. The hidden danger lurking in your morning routine. For decades, eggs themselves were demonized as dangerous heart attackers in waiting. We now know that was misguided science. But here's the shocking truth. The way most people prepare their eggs transforms this nearly perfect food into something that can trigger metabolic chaos, especially for diabetics. The average American kitchen harbors an ingredient so destructive to human metabolism that researchers at the University of California have linked it to inflammation levels comparable to bacterial infections. This substance is hiding in plain sight, marketed as heart healthy, and chances are you're using it every morning when you cook your eggs. I'm talking about industrial seed oils, particularly soybean, corn, canola, and safflower oils that have infiltrated our food supply over the past century. When these highly processed, unstable oils are heated during cooking, they undergo a dangerous transformation called oxidation, creating compounds that wreak havoc on your metabolic health. For diabetics, whose bodies are already navigating a complex metabolic challenge, these oxidized oils can be particularly devastating. The toxic transformation. What happens minute by minute? Let's break down exactly what happens when you cook eggs in these industrial oils and why it's especially problematic for diabetics. Within seconds of hitting the hot pan, these polyunsaturated oils begin breaking down, forming free radicals and harmful compounds called aldehydes. These aren't just abstract chemical terms. They're inflammatory agents that trigger real damage in your body. As your egg cooks, these compounds infuse into the food. The longer and hotter the cooking process, the more these toxic byproducts multiply. By the time your egg reaches your plate, it's essentially become a delivery vehicle for inflammatory compounds. Within minutes of eating this meal, your bloodstream absorbs these oxidized fats, triggering an inflammatory response. Your immune system activates, sending out alarm signals throughout your body. For diabetics, this inflammatory cascade is particularly dangerous because 1. Inflammation directly interferes with insulin sensitivity, making your cells more resistant to insulin's effects. 2. It damages the delicate blood vessels already at risk due to blood sugar fluctuations. 3. It disrupts the gut microbiome, which plays a crucial role in glucose metabolism. 4. It triggers oxidative stress that accelerates the complications of diabetes. The most alarming part, this inflammatory response can last for hours after your meal. So that healthy egg breakfast you had at 8 a.m. could be silently damaging your health until mid-afternoon. The $17 billion industry that's banking on your confusion. Why haven't you heard this before? Follow the money. The vegetable oil industry is worth over $17 billion annually. These oils are cheap to produce, have long shelf lives, and generate massive profits for food manufacturers. The marketing machine behind these products has successfully positioned them as heart-healthy alternatives to traditional cooking fats, despite mounting scientific evidence suggesting the opposite. For diabetics, this misinformation is particularly costly. While you're carefully counting carbs and monitoring glucose levels, this overlooked aspect of your diet could be undoing all your hard work. The shocking contrast: 2 breakfasts, 2 dramatically different outcomes. Consider 2 seemingly identical breakfasts. Breakfast number 1, 2 eggs fried in canola oil with spinach and whole grain toast. Breakfast number 2, 2 eggs fried in butter or olive oil with spinach and whole grain toast. They look nearly identical on your plate. The calorie difference is minimal, but the metabolic impact is worlds apart. Research from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism has shown that meals cooked with industrial seed oils lead to higher post-meal inflammation markers compared to the same meals cooked with more stable fats. For diabetics, this difference isn't trivial. It can mean the difference between controlled blood sugar and a day of frustrating fluctuations. In a particularly relevant study published in Diabetes Care, researchers found that participants who consumed meals prepared with industrial oil showed impaired insulin sensitivity for up to 6 hours afterward compared to those who ate meals prepared with more traditional fats. Think about that. The same egg, providing identical protein, vitamins, and minerals, can either help stabilize your blood sugar or send it on a roller coaster ride, simply based on what you cook it in. Have you noticed differences in how you feel after eating eggs prepared different ways? Share your experience in the comments below. Your observation might be the missing piece for someone else struggling with this issue. The 5 cooking methods that transform eggs from friend to foe. Not all egg preparation methods are created equal. Here are the 5 most problematic ways people cook eggs, ranked from bad to catastrophic for metabolic health. 5. Pan-fried in vegetable/canola oil. The high heat combined with unstable oils creates a perfect storm of oxidation and inflammation. For scrambled with processed cheese and vegetable oil, adds the inflammatory effects of highly processed dairy to already problematic cooking oil. 3. Omelets with processed meats cooked in vegetable oil combines 3 inflammatory ingredients: oxidized oils, processed meats with nitrates, and often high-heat cooking that further damages the fats. 2. Restaurant-style eggs, often cooked on grills seasoned with margarine or industrial oils, and prepared at extremely high temperatures for speed. 1. Fast food egg sandwiches, the ultimate metabolic nightmare combining oxidized oils, refined carbohydrates, processed cheese, and factory-farmed eggs from hens-fed inflammatory diets. For diabetics, these preparation methods don't just affect your cholesterol, they directly impact your insulin sensitivity, blood sugar control, and long-term complication risk. The ancestral wisdom modern science is finally catching up to. Our ancestors weren't nutritional scientists, but they possessed something perhaps more valuable: generational wisdom refined over thousands of years of human experience. For most of human history, eggs were cooked in stable, natural fats: butter, ghee, tallow, lard, olive oil, or coconut oil. These traditional cooking fats share an important characteristic: they're much more resistant to oxidation under heat. It's only in the last century, coinciding with rising rates of diabetes, heart disease, and obesity, that we've shifted to cooking with highly processed industrial oils extracted through chemical processes. The scientific community is finally catching up to what traditional cultures instinctively understood. A landmark 2020 study in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that replacing vegetable oils with more traditional cooking fats was associated with reduced inflammation and improved cardiometabolic markers. The metabolic magic that happens when you cook eggs properly. When you prepare eggs using traditional cooking methods and fats, something remarkable happens in your body. The complete protein in the egg is delivered intact, providing all 9 essential amino acids your body needs to maintain muscle mass, crucial for glucose disposal and metabolic health. The fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K in the egg yolk are properly absorbed, supporting everything from immune function to calcium metabolism. The choline in the egg, essential for liver function and neurotransmitter production, works synergistically, with the natural fats to support brain health and metabolism. Without the inflammatory assault of oxidized oils, your body can fully benefit from the egg's nutritional bounty. Your insulin sensitivity improves. Your hunger hormones stabilize. Your energy levels remain consistent. For diabetics specifically, properly prepared eggs can provide steady energy without spiking blood sugar, will improve satiety, reducing cravings for problematic carbohydrates, support muscle maintenance, which is essential for glucose management, deliver nutrients that protect against diabetic complications. The 6-step protocol to transform your egg experience. If you're ready to make eggs work for your health rather than against it, here's a simple protocol that can transform your results. 1. Choose quality eggs. Pasture-raised eggs from hens with access to their natural diet contain more anti-inflammatory omega-3 fats and fewer inflammatory omega-6 fats than conventional eggs. 2. Cook with protective fats. Use butter, ghee, olive oil, avocado oil, or coconut oil instead of vegetable oils. These stable fats act as protective antioxidants rather than inflammatory agents. 3. Control your heat. Lower, gentler cooking temperatures prevent oxidation. Methods like poaching, soft boiling, or gentle pan cooking preserve more nutrients while creating fewer inflammatory compounds. 4. Add antioxidant protection. Cooking eggs with antioxidant-rich vegetables like spinach, bell peppers, or fresh herbs creates a protective effect against oxidation. 5. Mind your accompaniments. Pairing eggs with refined carbohydrates like white toast or hash browns creates a metabolic double whammy. Instead, pair them with avocado, leafy greens, or fermented vegetables. 6. Track your response. As a diabetic, your glucose meter is your most powerful discovery tool. Test your blood sugar response to different egg preparations to find what works best for your unique metabolism. The difference these changes make isn't just theoretical, it's measurable. Many of my readers report that simply changing how they prepare their eggs results in more stable blood sugar, improved energy, and reduced inflammation markers on their lab tests. The uncomfortable truth about the food industry's influence on nutrition guidelines. Here's something disturbing to consider. The very organization that establishes nutrition guidelines used by hospitals treating diabetic patients receives substantial funding from the vegetable oil industry. The American Diabetes Association, which many diabetics trust implicitly for dietary guidance, has historically received sponsorship from companies whose products have been implicated in metabolic disease. This isn't a conspiracy theory. It's documented in their annual reports and partnership announcements. When financial incentives align with certain nutritional recommendations, we must approach those recommendations with healthy skepticism. For diabetics, this conflict of interest has real consequences. If you're following guidelines influenced by industry rather than driven purely by science, your health pays the price. The 7-day challenge that could change everything. I invite you to conduct a simple experiment. For 1 week, prepare your eggs using the protocol outlined above. Monitor your blood sugar, energy levels, hunger, and general well-being. Many people notice differences within days. A more stable blood sugar readings, a reduced hunger between meals, improved energy and mental clarity, a less joint pain and inflammation. But don't take my word for it, your body will tell you the truth. In the realm of nutrition, personal experience is a powerful teacher. Have you already noticed differences between eggs cooked different ways? I'd love to hear your experience in the comments section below. Beyond eggs, the bigger picture for diabetics. While we focused on eggs in this discussion, principles apply much more broadly. The cooking methods and fats you use for all your foods can either amplify or undermine your diabetes management efforts. Consider these alarming statistics. The average American consumes about 80 grams of soybean oil daily, up from virtually zero a century ago. Vegetable oil consumption has increased over 1,000% in the past century. These changes directly parallel the rise in metabolic diseases, including diabetes. For diabetics, addressing this aspect of your diet could be as important as counting carbohydrates or monitoring blood sugar. Yet it receives fraction of the attention in conventional diabetes education. The empowering path forward. Knowledge is power, especially when managing a condition like diabetes. Understanding how something as simple as your cooking oil choice affects your metabolism empowers you to make informed decisions. The good news is that making this change is simple, no complicated protocols or expensive supplements required. Affordable traditional cooking fats often cost the same or less than vegetable oils. Delicious. Most people prefer the taste of foods cooked in butter or olive oil anyway. Evidence-based, supported by both traditional wisdom and modern research. By returning to cooking methods that humans used for thousands of years before the diabetes epidemic, you're not trying something experimental, you're returning to what worked for generations before us. The choice that could change your health trajectory. Every morning when you make breakfast, you're making a choice that will affect your metabolic health for hours afterward. The egg itself isn't the problem. It's what happens to that egg during preparation that determines whether it will help or harm your health. For diabetics, these seemingly small choices accumulate, potentially altering the course of your condition. While medical management remains essential, dietary choices provide a powerful complementary approach that you control completely. The next time you reach for the cooking oil, remember, that choice may be just as important as the insulin or medication you take to manage your diabetes. What's been your experience with different cooking methods? Have you noticed how they affect your blood sugar or overall health? Share your insights in the comments below. Your experience could be the key that helps another reader unlock their own health breakthrough. A final thought worth considering. Imagine for a moment that you could go back in time and speak to your grandparents or great-grandparents about cooking. They would be bewildered by our modern reliance on factory-produced seed oils. They cooked with butter, lard, tallow, or olive oil, stable fats that humans have used for millennia. Is it mere coincidence that diabetes rates have exploded precisely during the era when we abandoned these traditional cooking methods? Or could there be wisdom in returning to what worked for countless generations before us? The evidence increasingly suggests that sometimes moving forward requires looking backward, reclaiming traditional knowledge that served humanity well before modern food processing changed our relationship with food. For diabetics especially, this return to traditional cooking wisdom isn't just about nostalgia. It could be a crucial component of reclaiming your metabolic health. Join our Breaking Diabetes community, where we're uncovering these overlooked aspects of diabetes management, beyond just counting carbs and taking meds. Subscribe now to ensure you don't miss our upcoming deep dive into the surprising foods marketed as diabetic-friendly that might actually be worsening your condition. Remember, diabetes management isn't just about the foods you choose, it's also about how you prepare them. Something as simple as changing how you cook your eggs could be the missing piece in your health puzzle. What other cooking methods have you found affect your blood sugar control? Share your insights in the comments section below. I read every comment, and your experience could help thousands of others on their health journey.